What's going on, guys? No guys here, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to go over Agile Dribbling. Don't forget, this will be a short mini series before FIFA school starts into its full swing. Just to give you a bit of an insight, after the first month a patch comes out which fundamentally changes the game from its core. So if I teach you something now, there's a big chance it could be almost redundant in a month's time. But the core mechanics never change. Stuff like Agile Dribbling that's been marketed or advertised by EA will never change but can only be nerfed. But Agile Dribbling has its place in the game. It's very important for you to understand how it works, how it functions. So I want to explain to you how you do Agile Dribbling, how you can use it in game, and I've also devised a short training program for you to use that comes towards the end of the video. And without further ado, let's go straight into the video. So Agile Dribbling now is very good to be used to evade your opponents. The first thing you need to remember is by default this is turned on. So you want to go over to the main menu and you want to go to customize controls. Now if you're new to FIFA 21 you wouldn't have noticed this. If you're an old veteran player of FIFA 20 and below, it's got all the way down to contextual dribbling. It's very important this is on off. By default it will be on. Now what this basically means is the way you do Agile Dribbling is you hold the R1 or the RB button if you're on Xbox. I'll show you some examples in a second, but as you can see on the screen, this is how you basically do Agile Dribbling. But the issue is if this is on, the game will basically decide when to do Agile Dribbling for you. So let's say for example you're in front of your opponent in a 1v1 situation. If contextual Agile Dribbling is on or active, the game will just immediately put you into Agile Dribbling mode, and that means that Agile Dribbling will turn on automatically. You have no control over it. This is not good because you don't have manual control of it. Sometimes you may not want to use Agile Dribbling. Let's say for example a certain player has got bad agility and balance, you may not want to use it. Or let's say you want to make a pass and sometimes Agile Dribbling might force you to take an awkward touch. So it's very important you leave this on off, that way the game never turns Agile Dribbling on for you and you have to turn it on manually. So go over to settings, make sure contextual Agile Dribbling is turned to off. So now contextual Agile Dribbling is turned off, we're going to go into the practice arena just so I can show you what it looks like. And we're not going to go through the training right now because the training has to be done in a real world example. In a situation, as you can see, because the camera is behind the player, or you input on the left analog stick will be completely different. So for example, if I move to the right hand side on the left analog stick, I'm moving towards the right hand side. But in a game, you'll be kind of shooting from left to right, if that makes sense. So this is not a good place to practice it, but it's a good place to showcase to you how Agile Dribbling works. Agile Dribbling, how it works is you literally hold the R1 or the RB button and that means it's activated. That's it, very simply. So it's kind of like that's on and you have to hold it for it to be on. So you can't tap it, or you can tap it in theory, but you're just meant to hold it on for now, and that means Agile Dribbling is on. And what does it mean when it's on? Well, this is normal dribbling, left analog stick dribbling. As you can see, it's very fluid because I've got someone like Neymar on the ball. They've nerfed this compared to last year. As soon as I turn Agile Dribbling on, as you can see, there's very small, minute touches. Now, this gives you very close control over dribbling. And it's more of like an evasion mechanic. You can go forward, you can go backward, you can go left, and you can go right. And as you can see, your body kind of moves a bit different from left analog stick dribbling. As you can see, you don't really turn as fluidly as compared to Agile Dribbling. You can have quick touches on both feet, not just one feet, on both feet. And you can see an example of here. If I flick it between the two players, between the feet, look how fast the ball does move. So you've got very good close control with Agile Dribbling. And also you can do skill moves with it. So you can have Agile Dribbling on and you can still do skill moves. So you could use Agile Dribbling in theory and combine the skill move together, and you can pass the ball, you can shoot, you can do whatever you want with Agile Dribbling as well. So what Agile Dribbling is mainly used for is they're mainly used to dribble or to evade an opponent. So if someone's coming near you, use Agile Dribbling to either walk away or to dribble the ball away. It kind of replaces traditional left stick dribbling. I'll go through some examples, but you can just see some examples now of how Agile Dribbling is used to create space or to move the ball away. There is certain movement, certain players have better animations than others, but you know, if you move this around in a circle, you'll see like a good example of how Agile Dribbling works. And again, don't forget, because we're doing this in the arena, it is a bit different. Be able to go backwards, forwards, and if you flick the right analog stick, you end up doing a setup touch, which will go on to another video that's been changed. But literally you can do anything you want. If you do run with the ball, Agile Dribbling kind of just cancels, so you can't run and use Agile Dribbling at the same time. You have to use it independently, so you can only use it to just do skill moves or just to move around, but you can still perform actions like shoot or you can pass the ball to your teammate. And that is pretty much it. You can tap Agile Dribbling like this, you can use it like that, but it's mainly conventional using, I would say, for now. Just use it like this up until people have tested it fluidly. I want you to practice just moving around. So when you go into your next game, I want you to go into a game, and when there's like a situation where there's players around you, just practice using Agile Dribbling to move away from your opponent like so, and just get used to that habit. Once you practice that and you kind of got a good understanding of Agile Dribbling works, I want you to go to the main menu and I want you to go to skill games. Now, skill games have been very much refined this year. There's an array of options available as compared to the previous years. We want to go over to a certain shooting mechanic. So what we want to do is you want to scroll all the way down. So you want to go press R1 or RB, go to the top and you go to shooting. And as you can see, if you press L2 and R2 button, you can change the player. You ideally want to have someone who's got good stats to do Agile Dribbling. I'll give you an example why. Now, the most important thing is understanding what key stats affect Agile Dribbling. Now, in theory, the better the person is a dribbler, the better they will be on the ball. Now, basically, Agile Dribbling uses a combination of dribbling, agility, reactions, and ball control, and the higher those stats are, the quicker the movement and the touches will be. What EA don't tell you though is that height also affects Agile Dribbling. The taller you are, the taller the player is. You can argue the higher center of gravity they have. So players with low center of gravity, players like Messi, players like Neymar that are very short are very good. Typically speaking, the taller the player is, the better the dribbling stats they need to perform Agile Dribbling. So naturally, someone like Ronaldo, even though he's got, so if you type in Cristiano Ronaldo, now Ronaldo is one of the best players in the game, evidently we all know that, but because he is very tall at 6'2" and he lacks one of the key stats, which is balance, he may not be as good as Agile Dribbling as, for example, someone with lower stats. So if you type in someone like Nakajima is a very cheap player in the game for Ultimate Team, or if you play him with Porto, but because he's 5'5", you may not have the best dribbling stats. Because agility and balance is pretty high with a lower center of gravity, you could argue he has better short, minute and quicker touches as opposed to Ronaldo. So it's important to bear that in mind. The key stats for me, what I found is agility and balance are the most important thing, because the more agile a player is, the better balance they have, they can move quicker. So even if these stats are all in the yellow, in theory, as long as they're agile and agility and balance, and the player is very agile and got a good balance, as long as those stats are very high, I would say they contribute the most towards Agile Dribbling. EA don't really tell us that, but that is what I've discovered. If you are playing Ultimate Team and you're not playing standard game modes, you can also apply chemistry style. There's many chemistry styles, like the finisher chemistry style. Obviously, the chemistry styles have been changed this year as well. You do have the marksman, you have maestro, but the main one to influence Agile Dribbling is basically engine, because engine gives you the agility and balance boost and the dribbling boost, and those are the three major stats. Mainly agility and balance, but then the rest come in control. So reactions, ball control and dribbling in general all take into account, but agility and balance is the most important, and engine gives +10 boost on balance. So it's very important to understand how chemistry styles also affect Agile Dribbling. In order to practice Agile Dribbling, you want to go over to skill games, and it's very, very important that you have a player that has good dribbling. So as I said, someone like Neymar, the way you can do this, by default, it's to play on your profile. So if you want to go back and you want to go over to settings, go to customize, you want to go to profile, and you want to go to profile manager, and you want to change your team. So for example, mine is Paris Saint-Germain. So that means when you go into skill games, by default, the players will be Paris Saint-Germain, players like Neymar and Mbappe. If you, for example, have Barcelona, you have players like, for example, like Artur and Messi. So because I have mine set to PSG, I have players like Neymar and Mbappe, and it's important you practice these with good players in the game. You don't want to play this with like players like Xhaka from Arsenal, because they haven't got the best agility and balance and they're very tall. You want to scroll across all the way to the shooting mechanic, and you want to go over to, you have to do these ones first, so just practice doing these. They're very, very quick, and you want to unlock the one called beat the goalie. You're going to press the L2 and R2 button, and just keep it consistent. If you want to keep this the same as me, we're going to use Neymar. Press X and start it. Now first of all, what I want you to do is literally I want you to hold the R1 button or the RB button, and I want you to practice just moving away from the goalkeeper. That's all I want you to do in the beginning. Just moving away, moving the left analyst. As I said from the arena, it's a bit different. I want you to practice the movement. Just practice evading the goalkeeper. So when the goalkeeper comes near you, just practice moving around him and just have a look at the animations. The reason why I'm saying use a goalkeeper, not a player, is because a goalkeeper can dive towards you, and therefore you have to exaggerate your movements a bit more. So when you're learning, I found it's more effective to use a goalkeeper, because that way you exaggerate your movements a bit more, and that way it's easier for you to move the ball around. So again, just practice this like so. Just get used to it like so, moving the ball around. Do not worry if you don't get past. Try mixing it together. Try spinning your left analog stick around just to see how quickly and fluidly you can run it, and just to see, do about, I'll say about 50 of these just so you get the movement, and try to just walk past the goalkeeper and get into the goal. So practice walk past the goalkeeper and just walk into the goal. That's what I'm going to do. Practice this about, I'll say 5-10 times. Just get used to the animations just so you can beat the goalkeeper and go past him. Now we're going to run through some examples for how Agile Dribbling works. Again, we have a situation with Ronaldo over here. This is the icon loan Ronaldo that we got for free, which is a loan card only, but this is a top tier player. And as you can see, when he does Agile Dribbling, look at his movement, how fluid it is. And I want you to literally just go into a game, and I want you to activate Agile Dribbling when players are around you. So when a player is around you, I want you to activate Agile Dribbling, and I want you to very simply just hold the R1 or the RB button and move your left analog stick away. That's the way you have to practice Agile Dribbling. So if someone is near you, literally hold the Agile Dribbling button and move your left analog stick away. And you can see I do that in this example, so I'm just going to slow this down for you. So I get the ball with Ronaldo, I then wait for my players to come close, and again, Agile Dribbling, activate it, and as you can see my left analog stick, I'm facing down and I'm moving away. This is just for you to practice it, just so you get used to it. Once you eventually practiced it, you can then try to do your own stuff in the game, if that makes sense. But for now, just practice using Agile Dribbling and maneuvering away from your opponent. As you can see over here, maneuvering away with Ronaldo, and as you can see, very simply using it just to create space, and that's the way I want you to practice using it in the game. Here we have another example for Agile Dribbling. As you can see, I've got the ball with Neres, and as you can see with my left analog stick, and don't forget, this is important, I'm never letting go of my left analog stick. So basically I'm turning Agile Dribbling on and off with the R1 or the RB button, but I'm never letting go of my left analog stick. So as you can see over here, I have the ball, and as you can see, I'm never letting go of my left analog. So I'm basically using the R1, the RB button to supplement it. So I'm never letting go of the left analog stick. My left analog stick is always moving. So even before I got the ball, so you can see over here, even before I got the ball, before the ball arrives to my feet, I'm already moving the left analog stick. And it's only once the ball comes to my feet, then I use the hold the R1 button to turn it on. So basically my left analog stick, it moves normally, and I use the R1 button to basically turn it on, if that makes sense. Hold it, I turn it on, and as you see here, I'm just moving, and as you can see, I see someone around me. So I see opponent, and this is an AI player. Don't forget the white cursor is the play he's controlling, but I see this person coming towards me, so I very simply hold my left analog stick down so I can move away from him. You see that? So I hold my left analog stick down so I can move away from him, like so. And that's like, we just want to use that just to create space. Again, just practice, and as you can see, I kind of rotated away. And even to do this, you see, this is very, very simple. All I did is I basically flicked my left analog stick like this, and I went back up again. And as you can see, this animation happened itself. I never expected for animation to happen, but that is one way you use left analog stick, again, to evade your opponent or to create space. Here's a more real world example. As you can see, I get the ball over here with Gomez. I take a touch, I'm holding a run button. Then as soon as I see him, so I'm in a bit of a trouble here. I can't really take a shot from here. I ideally want to be in a situation over here where I can take a shot towards goal. So what I do is I then turn Agile Dribbling on. So I get in position and I use Agile Dribbling, as you can see. So I hold the R1 button, and again, I see him coming towards me. So I move my left analog stick towards the right hand side. You see my left analog stick moving towards the right hand side because I want to move into that position. And as you can see, because I practiced it, and as you can see, this way he overcommitted, and I moved it back again, allowed me to create the chance. But again, all I did over here was I kind of faked it. I went one way and I went back again and I exited. So basically I stood still, moved a bit to the right, then I moved back to the left, and then I exited out. And it's only because he made a mistake, so I kind of went one way to trick him, like so. Then once he fell for it, I went back quickly, and I went and I took a shot after I made openings. That's what you can use Agile Dribbling for. You can use it to create an opening, go one way, let your opponent catch onto the bait, then go quickly the other way. And as you can see, look, he was pressing the tackle button, but because Gomez is so agile and it works so well, he tried to press tackle button, and by the time he could do it, I've already moved and changed direction. Here's one final example I wanted to show you. So here I got myself in a bit of a pickle. I didn't really know what to do. I got the board Promes over here. Instead of panicking and doing something astray, I simply held, as I said, the Agile Dribbling button. And as soon as he came towards me, so watch, what I'm doing here is I'm actually moving the left analog stick away. So he's coming towards me. So I want to exit down. So I move the left analog stick down, as you can see. And the same thing over here, I see a player in front of me. Now he's obviously going to come and tackle me. So what do? Is I move the left analog stick back up again. And that's the direction I'm doing. Basically just move the left analog stick into the space. This is actually very, very simple. All I did is I got the ball and I'm going to slow this down to about 0.5 or just 0.4 so you can see it. Now watch, I'm holding the Agile Dribbling button. I see a player come close to me. I drift straight away to the bottom right, or as you can see on the controller, press on the bottom right, moving the analog stick to the bottom right, and that's exiting to Promes' left hand side. Then this player, he comes too close to me, then I exit back to the top. So I want you to practice this. Go into a game, and when you're in a tight situation like this, just practice using Agile Dribbling and practice moving into the space. The key thing is moving away from your opponents. Don't try to force the ball forward. If you're in a situation like this and you want to get in front of goal, don't think, okay, you know what, I want to go over here. Don't force the ball. Agile Dribbling should be used to evade your opponent, not to beat your opponent. So here you can use Agile Dribbling. Let your opponent come close to you, bite onto the bait, and then you can move the ball away. So Agile Dribbling is basically used to retain the ball as opposed to beating someone. And as you can see, I was very easily and very lucky to open that space up with Agile Dribbling. So once you practice that, you'll understand how Agile Dribbling works. Let's say you've done the practice arena, let's say you've gone into a game and you practiced it, but how do you actually beat someone with Agile Dribbling? This is where it gets a tad bit complicated. As I said, a full in-depth video will be coming along shortly, but I want you to go back into the skill game, and the difference is I want you to practice having the ball with a player and then using Agile Dribbling and using the run button to exit. So what you're essentially doing is you're using Agile Dribbling and you're holding the run button to exit, and you see that? So I'm never letting go of the left analog stick. I'm holding left analog stick the entire time. All I'm doing is I'm letting go of the Agile Dribbling and changing to the run button. You see that? So Agile Dribbling, change to the run button, and I'm flicking the ball away. See, I'm holding the run button. I want you to practice doing this now when you're up against the goalkeeper. This is what is called the speed boost. Now, this is probably going to get patched, but I thought it'd be very interesting to show you. So again, Agile Dribbling, use the run button to exit. And it's all about timing. When you do this the first couple of times, you end up doing something like this, and you end up going towards the goalkeeper. And that's why I'm saying use the goalkeeper as an example. Don't use the player ones, because the goalkeepers, they make exaggerated movements and they can dive. This way you'll get better at moving the ball away. And as you can see, once you get used to it, you'll know, for example, when's the perfect time to hold the run button. So I know he's coming out now, so I know to do it now. And as you can see, just practice this and just practice using it, and you can always try using it in game. So I'm going to walk you through some examples. So this is the first one. I get the ball with Promes over here, and I use Agile Dribbling, and I quickly sprint into the space and create a goal. As I said, a lot of this stuff will probably be patched by the end of the month, but I thought it would be very interesting to show you. Maybe you can try this out yourself. It'll probably be nerfed heavily, and this is why I say when FIFA school, you have to be very careful about what I teach you. But breaking this down is very, very easy. All I've done, literally, I'll break it down for you very, very slowly. So I'm going to slow this down all the way to 0.5 once the ball gets to me. So I got the ball Promes. In a situation, I didn't know what to do. Honestly, I didn't know what to do. So what I did is I held basically Agile Dribbling to buy time. That's what I used it for. I used it not to beat someone, to buy time. I wanted to keep the ball very close to me so my opponent can't tackle it. As soon as I tried to move a bit to the left and play the ball to Gomez. Gomez was then offside. Then all I did basically, as soon as I saw him or my opponent commit towards me, and don't forget, because you've been practicing with a goalkeeper, you'll know how to over-exaggerate. So here, as soon as I saw the player come towards me, I very simply shifted and I held the run button and I exited to the bottom right. As you can see on my left analog stick, I exited to the bottom right away from my opponent. Again, it's very, very simple. So I'm going to rewind this a tad bit, second over here. I got the ball with Promes. The ball came towards me, held Agile Dribbling. Then as soon as I saw him come towards me, I let go of the Agile Dribbling button. I then changed to the run button and I held the left analog stick into that direction. And that's what gave me that, and I take that heavy touch forward. That's what gave me that sprint boost for me to very easily score a goal. Here's another example over here. So the ball gets fed towards me with a normal regular pass. My opponent over here makes a big mistake. I didn't beat him over there. He just mistimed the slide tackle. Once I was here with Gomez, I was still running with the ball. So again, here, I'm still running with the ball. Don't forget, you can't use Agile Dribbling and run at the same time. So to let go of the run button Agile Dribbling is now turned off. I press the R1 button so Agile Dribbling turns on. Then once I'm facing upward, as you can see, look, I'm now taking small minute steps. As soon as I saw the goalkeeper coming towards me, I wanted to make a run exaggerated movement to the top right, so I changed the run button, and as you can see, I very easily beat the goalkeeper by using it. And it's a very effective technique. It's good to beat, not only to beat the goalkeeper, but it's really good just to beat players and create pockets of space. This is just one final example I wanted to show you. So as you can see, I've got the ball on the wing with Insigne. This is not a good example where to use it. I'm using the run button, let go of the run button, and I activate the Agile Dribbling button. Now again here, I can exit in two ways. My opponent doesn't know which way I want to go, so I can always use Agile Dribbling to confuse him a little bit. And whenever he commits or overcommits to one side, if he commits that way, I'll run and sprint this way. If he overcommits this way, I'll run and sprint this way. If he overcommits me generally forward towards me, I can run and sprint into any of the two directions. So I'll wait for my opponent to make a move. Then once I anticipate he's running towards me, then I make a running sprint exit to the right hand side. And as you can see, it's very, very easy. I got the ball like so. And listen, don't forget, you'll have to try this yourself. There is a big chance this will fail for you for the first 20 times. But after you get used to it, and once you've done the practice arena, you'll get used to the animations. Then you'll see my player comes close towards me. I'm holding the Agile Dribble button. And then as soon as I see my player come a bit too close towards me, I took a risk here. I just thought it was going to come towards me. I use the Agile Dribbling, changed into the run button. I didn't even flick the left analog stick. You see, I don't flick left analog stick. Again, left analog stick, it never moves. It never moves as it never moves in terms of deviation to my player. I move my left analog stick normally. If I want to, for example, fake left, then exit that way, I still do that animation with my left analog stick. It's just that I'm holding R1 when I'm doing that, and then I'm exiting. I then hold the R2 button to exit. Same thing over here. Get the ball, Agile Dribbling, and I hold the R2 button and I exit and I quickly evade him. And this is an example of how Agile Dribbling can be used in FIFA 21. And don't forget, make sure you turn contextual Agile Dribbling off. Thanks for watching, take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.